Hey everyone, welcome to Melee It On Me, the premier podcast in the Super Smash Bros. Melee community. Of course, my name is Prague. To my right, we have my co-anchor, Sheridan. Later on, we're going to have Juggle Guy with sports, and Tilt will be here with the weather. How's everyone doing tonight? Sheridan, how are you?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. Can't complain.
Always a good thing. How's NorCal treating you right now?
Really good. I mean, I didn't get to go to the next episode. I was out at a family wedding, but it seems like everybody had a fantastic time. And after it was over, the day after, got to hang out with some friends. So that's always good. Yeah.
Juggle Guy, how's your week been? I mean, I know you didn't get much sleep on Monday after that episode. How you been? How's the coffee life treating you?
It's been amazing. I think right after our last episode 2 weeks ago, I flew out to NorCal and went to Bobby's wedding. Sheridan was there. A bunch of Smash homies were there. I didn't know exactly how many people were going to be in attendance. Like, I didn't want to be that guy who was like, "Oh yeah, see you at Bobby's wedding." Oh wait, you didn't. Never mind. So like I all I knew was like Sheridan for sure, and then like a couple other people, but there ended up being what was it, like 20 Smashers at that wedding? It was
yeah,
a decent number.
Two full tables.
Two
worth
full
of
tables.
Yeah.
Out of
Awesome.
maybe 100, 120-ish people, just ballpark estimate total. So yeah, it was really fun, and spent a week in NorCal. Attended a couple Smash Fests, 2 tournaments even. So like in 9 days, I got a pretty decent fix of activities. It was a good deal for me.
Awesome stuff. And I guess I've been doing pretty well. Some show I worked on actually won a New York City Emmy, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And
Sick with it.
that's pretty much it. Everything's been pretty solid. So actually what we're doing on tonight's show is, of course, you guys know that you can view all of our topics that are going to be spoken about tonight in the agenda, which has just been linked for you in chat. But we're going to actually, hopefully we might make this a recurring thing where we'll have PSAs at the beginning of every episode. So the first PSA is that if you guys like saving money, you should probably register for EVO and MLG about now. Passes are going up $20 on April 8th. MLG is having their pass go $14, $10 on the 14th. It's been a good day.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they know that people wait till last minute, and understandably, like they want to get the ball rolling. And those dates are coming up really soon, April 8th, April 14th. Like, people are going to have to decide if they're still deciding on MLG versus EVO. They're going to have to decide pretty much very soon. So I'm interested to see what the entry numbers look like after April.
I don't know if they're going to post those, though. Do you think they would?
I think the winner will, if there's a clear one.
Well, just as an addendum to that is, the hotel at EVO has been offering some pretty sick rates on their hotel room, and I'm expecting those to
everyone, we are back here on Melee It On Me. We kind of kicked up the plug here, but thanks for staying with us. So we're going to continue on with the PSAs. So we're talking about the Facebook group that most of you are a part of. And so in our agenda, you can see the links to join it. But it's kind of hard for us to manage it, so we've added some new mods. Joe, you want to go into these guys a bit? No, people who may not be familiar with our new mods?
Yeah, sure. Daniel, a.k.a. Tafokins, kind of vetted out this process and got us some very trustworthy new mods, I guess, who have done work in the Melee community before and are well qualified to do so. And I guess I don't need to read all the names. You guys can see them there. You probably have seen them around in the group. But I think just noticing the effect right away, it's been a lot better, honestly. Like, they've helped a lot.
People aren't waiting 2 weeks to be accepted into the group.
Right.
Yeah. That queue's not quite as long anymore.
Yeah.
The spam posts are being taken down a lot quicker. So it's going to be a nice change, I think. Even just like 3 months ago versus today, I think the group has gotten a lot better. Even though it still has a long way to go, but just the average level of content quality, I'm definitely impressed with like how much it's improved just, from a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Anything else from you, Hugo, on the subject before we move on?
About the mods?
Yeah, anything you want to say about the mods?
Nope, they're all cool guys.
We are fans. So again, thank you to all of our mods, old and the new, and the entire MLG Anaheim crew. Anyway, we're going to get into the next topic on the agenda, something you guys probably saw this weekend on BG Bootcamp. We had the next episode out in NorCal. Now, this was a Sheridan event, but you kind of handed the reins off, right, Sheridan?
Yeah. I didn't realize I was going to have to be attending a family wedding out in North Carolina, which was really fun. But still, I'm sad I missed the tournament. But we got a lot of capable people in NorCal, and by all accounts, it pretty much went as good as it possibly could, except for, I guess, some kind of power outage early on in the event.
That sounds familiar.
I can tell you all about it.
Sounds just like our stream tonight. What's up, Robin? AKA Jungle Guy.
Well, first of all, it was the next episode was an excellent event, and I'm not just saying that because there were a lot of hype sets or anything. Just overall, it was an excellent event, and it starts with the venue. Bobak and company really did a great job getting the venue arrangements organized and comfortable. That's really something that's underrated these days. And honestly, like 90% of tournaments get that wrong, including some of my own in the past now that I've realized. So shout outs to Bobak and company for getting that right. He had all the chairs in the right places. The tables were all in the right places. There was no shortage of power strips or extension cords. The TV placements and numberings of TVs, those were on point. And there's even a projector and ample seating for spectator viewing on Sunday. So everything,
definitely.
Let me just shout out the whole crew real quick, because this is actually the college that Alan goes to. Okay. And he's the one that found the venue in the first place, and he did the negotiations with everybody on campus to get us that room for that time. And then Bobak, of course, is a big help. He's been through all this before, made us some nice graphics, and does a whole bunch of dirty work. And then Tar Heels, JKS, aka Julian Symington, he's does a lot of the bracket running and stuff, and very knowledgeable guy in NorCal. And Andrew Wu, who ran all the Winter Game Fests, and Landhammer helped us out too. And of course, we got a whole bunch of helpers in NorCal that just make the scene the great place that it is. So thanks everybody for taking over. You guys did a wonderful job.
NorCal's just got more leaders than most other regions. That's something I took away from this trip and from the next episode in particular. I know everyone else is like blowing up about this set was so hype and everything. I'm just like in my corner being a TOing nerd and be like, oh my god, okay, this was done very well. That's what I'm going to take away from this event. So okay, one thing, NorCal leadership is A+ leadership, and I don't know how to facilitate that exactly. I don't think it's something that you can just, pull out of thin air, but that's something I'm definitely going to try to do in the Midwest. And
I saw you and you giving your pep talk to your crew at Big House 3, and all your staff had it down. So,
well, it's a start, right? But
yeah,
I definitely want to keep that momentum going. Enough TOing talk. Let's talk about some of the amazing performances at the next episode. There were some really, really solid performances of people who stepped up, starting with Falcon round robin. Anyone want to talk about that, Sheridan? I wouldn't be surprised if you pulled away from your wedding and watched that a little bit. Oh wait, okay, you're not a Falcon main. If I was a Falcon main at the wedding, I would pull away from the wedding, be like, you know what, I gotta watch this. Like Lord versus SDJ, this is a historic matchup.
So after the event was over on Saturday night, I had to go home and immediately check to see, make sure nothing blew up, make sure everything was going well.
Sure.
And all the talk that I found was about that one amazing moment between Lord and Johnny.
Oh my
God. And from that, given that everything was talking about that, I concluded that day one must have been a pretty good success.
It was definitely a success, and that was the perfect way to end it. I haven't run many exhibitions at my tournaments, but now I'm thinking about it because this was a perfect way to end day one.
Yeah,
you had four of clearly the top four Falcons. At the time, especially in attendance, no doubt the top four Falcons. Maybe just overall the top four in the country. Who knows? Duke it out in a 4-person round robin, and it was really competitive. There was actually a 3-way tie for first, so that kind of shows how competitive it was. And it was not short of excitement either, as Lord demonstrated. That was so awesome.
Yeah, the thing about events like that is, as was mentioned in the commentary, those events are all about. It's not necessarily about winning; it's about you styling and just showing off and having a good time.
Making a statement.
Lord is all about having a good time and just doing whatever he feels like. And if he wins in the process, well, that's nice too. So I like those events, and I kind of think that not having like a big prize for that kind of encourages people just to do whatever they feel and have more fun with it as opposed to playing really hard to win.
Yeah, it's for pride, and it's an exhibition match.
Exactly.
Making a statement is your prize at the end.
Exactly. So that's what I hope people got out of it.
Yeah, it feels like it's been, good exhibitions have been few between in the Smash community. We have a fantastic experience with Salty Street at Apex. But, we didn't have the crew battle that we were looking forward to. Things of that nature, and it's always good to see, things like this happen. It's not something you see every day. But all that being said, it was just watching from home. I can't even fathom. It was what everyone expected, everyone wanted, and it just blew everyone's mind. I hope.
So when I finally was able to see the GIF of that moment, I was in bed with my phone and everybody else was asleep. And as I watched that, I had to bite down on the blanket so as not to make any noise because of how excited I was.
Dude, I didn't know exactly who won when that happened at the end because they went back and forth 2 or 3 times. And I kind of had the projector, Gimmer's camera lighting mechanism in my eye. So I kind of couldn't tell. I was like, wait a minute.
Right. Who got upbeat by who?
Yeah.
Which way did it go? Yeah.
And plus, Stadium's edge that kind of blinds you a little bit doesn't help either. So I literally didn't know who won till 3 seconds after the match. But I didn't care. That's the thing. I didn't care. It was an amazing ending.
Yeah, it definitely was.
That whole last stock was great. All the ledge battles.
The cliff fight. I love Toph's term
going in that little, that little pit of overconfidence or whatever. Yeah.
I love that moment where, somebody's at the bottom of the pit and the opponent's on top just kind of thinking about it and then they're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going in.
You have to.
And it's on after that.
I'm just so surprised nobody came out of that just dead immediately.
Right.
That seems to always happen when I get over there. That cliff is just, it's the worst.
So, a lot of people were doubting Lord's MIOM SSBM rank. I think he was around number 30, plus or minus 5. I can't remember, but what do you think about that ranking now in hindsight after he's kind of made a couple really big statements in recent weeks?
I have no idea.
It's tough to say. He's definitely such a
he's a wild card,
player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I picked him actually as I was looking at the bracket for Evo last year. I picked him to make top 8.
Oh,
yeah, that was quite a statement.
Ooh.
He almost did it, but
What, he got like 17th?
I think he got 17th, yeah.
17th?
Yeah, he wasn't too far out of it.
Yeah. Dude, just playing him, he's so hard to hit. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And I think maybe, like, just tournament results based, maybe he's a little overranked just based on results, but in terms of, like, pure talent and when you play him and the feel you get for, like, his skill level, I think he's accurately ranked. I think he's definitely a top 30 level player.
Okay.
It very well could be. Yeah, you just have to catch him, I guess.
This is the kind of performance that makes, East Coast TOs or, whatever region want to reach out to him and say, you know what, come out to my event. So
yeah,
it's a great thing that the Falcon Round Robin happened.
Just watching him play both in the Round Robin and in tournament, I just immediately thought, this reminds me of Scar around I Killed with Boss 2 era.
I was going to say, Scar, long time ago, Scar. Yeah.
But,
where are you at, Bobby?
One thing Mr. Scar Newman, again, congratulations on.
Yeah, again, congratulations to Bobby. Like, so happy for him.
Yeah. But one thing that made this tournament really interesting from a spectator point of view is none of the Big Five were there. So that made everything open. And we all wondered, who was going to take it home. So let's talk about let's talk about those who are walking on to NorCal from foreign ground, with Hacks from the East Coast and Kirby Kaze from the East Coast of Canada.
It's really funny how a lot of people on the Facebook group and Reddit seem to still think West Coast is overrated, maybe just because of a couple random upsets at Apex. And I'm just sitting here like, come on, really? Like, Hacks and Kirby Kaze were predicted to take top 3, two of the top 3 at this tournament, and like it definitely did not go that way. It didn't go as planned for them. I think Hacks got 7th and Kirby Kaze got 9th, and these are two players who are arguably 4th and 5th, like the 4th and 5th best players east of the Mississippi in North America, and they're going to a NorCal regional and getting 7th and 9th, and it's not like they fluked, their opponents fluked their way to victories or anything. They got outplayed in those sets. So that's kind of the gist of my thoughts. I think Hacks and Kirby Kaze are still really good, but for one reason, for each player, like, they still have work to do. Hacks still needs to prove that he can dual main at a super high level, and Kirby Kaze needs to prove that, like, taking pretty much all of 2013 off, he can put that behind him and regain that top 10 level status again.
Yeah. I actually remember after the week prior to that, there was a local in NorCal where Hacks won.
Yeah, he did win that.
And
yep.
West Balls basically said, that was NorCal. The real kings are coming up for this tournament.
That was a very accurate statement. Kirby Kaze lost to 2 SoCal players. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he did lose to 2 SoCal players, and Hacks, SJ and Lucky.
Right.
And Hacks has lost to Fly, so there you go. I think SoCal has a very strong case for best region in the world, as they always have, but this further reinforces that notion.
Definitely. Well, I mean, I know CNOT linked the results in full on the Facebook chat, so at your leisure, definitely take a look at that. But I think we're going to move on to the next topic in our agenda. So if you didn't hear tonight's episode name is Melee on MeSports, and there's kind of a big reason why. We talked about if you haven't seen the announcement video, it was actually done by Sam Ox again, who produced the Smash Bros. Documentary. He also produced the video for this, and of course there's an announcement on Team Liquid's site. They're starting possibly their own Liquipedia for Smash, which is out of this world. And Slasher did an interview with both KDJ and Ken. So we know that those two players are not just back and entering the summer events, but they are coming back to competitive Melee.
Yep, very exciting.
How does this change the landscape, Joe Guy and Sheridan?
Sheridan, you want to go first?
This has just been it seems like every time we do this show, we see more and more confirmation that our game has more legitimacy in the eyes of a larger audience. And now it's not just FGC anymore. We're moving on to Team Liquid, which is, primarily StarCraft, or originated with StarCraft. And I'm just blown away that have paid so much attention to our scene that they would come in and, pick out these people who are, kind of the old legends coming back into the scene and bringing them onto to Team Liquid to, I have no idea what the future holds, but I can only see good things coming out of this.
I think a huge precedent is set with this. Team Liquid is obviously huge. Everyone knows that. I admit I had to do some reading up on Team Liquid because I'm not the most well-versed in non-Smash gaming. But, I just think it sets a huge precedent, and other esports teams are going to notice this. And, I definitely see big things for Melee players in the future. Just about a year ago, we started seeing those sponsors, those tags come up in everyone's gamer tags. I think that's going to continue, and now we're talking about real, legitimate, huge sponsors. Not even sponsors, actual teams, esports teams. Right. And that's just, I'm so happy for the direction this community is going. That is absolutely huge.
Definitely, I know I've had a few people who've asked, out of all the players that are in the community, why start with KDJ and Ken?
Right.
And, I was actually on Twitter, and I remember Alex Rye making a post about how, to be that type of individual that a team sees benefit in, it's not just about the results you put up. It's about the kind of ambassador you are to your community.
Yes.
And how you represent the team. So, Ken and KJ, of course, both have kind of been out of the limelight for a while. I'd say KJ a bit less, as he's been pretty consistently playing for a few months now.
Yeah. The way I put it on a Smashboards post is I kind of get this impression that over the last year or two, at least, ever since Ken came back, I think Ken's kind of been, hovering at this 80% motivation level, maybe even lower. Right. Same with KDJ. And that's not because they don't care about the game. It's just, I think, after so long, they need an extra push to keep them going, and to truly come back to competition. And this is definitely going to provide that push. An esports team being part of that, you can't really ask for anything more. That's kind of the pinnacle. That's what you work towards as a gamer if you're in this niche. So, absolutely looking forward to their comebacks.
I think even if we wouldn't put them in the top 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 right now, they're people that we know, we have expectations of what they might be able to do. They're not people that have, reached that almost top level and just kind of stay there for a while. These are people that were at the top level, and we're all wondering, we really want to see what they can do now that it's 2014. Yeah. And, not just that, but their personalities too. We got to know them through the documentary. And, Ken always has a lot of things to say that are very interesting. And, people like to read about the things he says and talk about them. And, Korean DJ is a very motivated individual. I think that came across pretty clearly in the documentary. And I think those kind of attitudes are going to help sell them to not just, obviously, we're already sold on them, but they're going to be sold to everybody else that's paying attention too.
And this is kind of something I want to clear up. People keep saying, if I could time travel and go back to 2007, I would beat Ken. I would beat KDJ. Look at them in the videos. Like, I could beat them. Okay, fine. Like, you might be able to beat them in a couple friendlies, but there's a reason that they were number one or, close to number one in their time. And it's because, they were a step above everyone else. They adapted to, the opposition. And I think because of that, like, as long as they're given this push in the end, like in 2014, they can be a top player again. They can be top 10 level players. I really think they can. And it just takes a lot of effort these days. So you need something like this to pick you up and kind of motivate you. So I don't really give any credence to the people who say, like, Ken's only rank, he's number 100 on the MIOM. Why would Team Liquid pick him up? I think for every reason that you mentioned, Prague, plus the fact that, I really do think they could be top 10 or at least top 20 level players given the right push. I think all of that combined, these are solid choices for Team Liquid.
And, I think this definitely is part that's going to give the push. It's opening so many doors for both of them as individuals, let alone as gamers, let alone as ambassadors to our community. And, I personally don't have any inside knowledge or anything. I'm pretty sure we'll see someone else end up on a major team pretty soon, but who knows?
I would not be surprised at all, given, I keep saying this is like the fifth time I've said this. This sets a huge precedent. I definitely think we're going to see more of that.
Definitely. And actually, we saw both of them streaming, both KDJ streaming with Ellen, and of course we've seen Ken stream with a lot of players from SoCal. And we saw the East Coast, a return of someone else to streaming. Both Ken and Azen in the year 2014, both live on streams playing Melee concurrently. Just let that wash over you.
Yeah, let's let that sink in for a little bit. Dude, so I was watching a video from Pound 4, and one of the YouTube comments was something like oh my god, Dark Reign versus PC in 2010, life is good. And I'm just thinking back, wow, if we were saying that in 2010, how great is it that Ken and Azen were streaming Melee in the same week in 2014? That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's absolutely nuts.
Sup, you're only 40 minutes late. How's it going?
Work, John. I don't know. It's going well. It's going well.
Hope how's the traffic and weather?
Amazing. No, so that Azen stream, you guys talked about how many views it had?
I don't know how many views, but I don't care.
Yeah, it was in the 4 digits.
I don't care if it was 10 viewers. Those are 10 viewers who were lucky to see that guy play in 2014.
Well, in this case, it was 1,000 viewers, and I think that's pretty exciting because that shows that there's this trend with the new school, to not necessarily be that in touch with the older generation, and it's neat that it got that much attention in spite of the fact that Azen isn't necessarily competing in tournaments right now.
And I think, it's kind of scary just how, I don't want to say, how much of a spectacle Azen is, I guess. How rare he is to be cited, and then the one time he does. There are tournaments that can't hit 1,000 people. This is just a training session between Azen and Chillin, and it hits 1K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that say more about Azen's legendariness or Chillin's social media campaign skills? That dude was all over Twitter and Facebook.
Chillin does have some pretty phenomenal PR with his, as evidenced by his entry in the SSBM ranked top 100.
Who wrote that?
Chillin!
Wait, he wrote that himself? Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty freaking sure he wrote it himself.
How would you? Do you know the man? That is the thing that he would write.
Yeah.
I knew it was off, but I didn't know that was actually him who wrote it. That's actually absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
So there's your answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? We're at the halfway point. We're going to go on maybe a 2, 3, 4-minute break. We're going to come back and we're going to close out the night with our special guest for the evening. If you guys are still making plans for MLG and DIVA, well, we can show you some stepping stones to all of the above after this. Hey guys, welcome back to Melee It On Me, and we're going to get started with the second half of our show, which are upcoming events, things that you should have on your radar. And first and foremost, since, I'm kind of hosting tonight, I guess, we're going to start with the Northeast, the Atlantic North, with Mr. Matt Dotzhead himself. Mr. Matt Dotzhead. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, Bob. Everybody, thanks for having me on tonight.
Can you turn up your volume?
Yeah, 1 second. How's this?
Yeah, perfect.
A little better.
Sounds a lot better, yeah.
If you can get a little higher, that might be good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
Sounds good. So, Matt, you've been kind of like the saving grace of the Northeast, especially Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and you've been doing something special out there, and it all kind of culminates this weekend, right?
Yes, I've been running.
Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. So I've been running something called the Melee Games, which involved 10 colleges, 7 from the Boston area, and 2 others within Massachusetts, and 1 from Connecticut joined in. And basically what we did was a crew battle format where we ran a bracket over the period of about 6-7 weeks. We just advanced it match by match weekly. And now we have our grand finals at our event this Saturday, which is Northeastern Smash Attack 2. It's the second one, obviously, after the first Northeastern Smash Attack. It was a Friday night event, had 108 people there, and so we decided, all right, well, let's see what we can do on a Saturday and incorporate the Melee games into that. And it's seemingly paid off pretty well.
How many entrants are there? I heard this number and it blew me away.
Yeah, when I heard it too, I was pretty surprised. Well, we have, for Melee singles, we have 225 people signed up.
Oh my gosh.
225.
Wow. Yes.
Let's
How
let
did
that
that
sink in for a second.
Are there any?
Can
Do
you
we have
tell
any,
us how that happened? Or, I mean...
I want to know: are there any national tournaments or regionals that we have an entry count that we can compare it to?
Ooh, I'm all about that. Well,
you're
first of
all
all,
about
this is going to be the biggest one-day Melee tournament in terms of number of entrants.
That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool, and it's already what is it? It's already in the top 15 Melee tournaments of all time in terms of number of entrants.
Wow.
It's right between Apex 2010 with 220 entrants and Pound 3 with 228 entrants.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
first of all, congrats, Matt. And second of all, good luck to Yoing.
Yeah, thank you. It was really funny. Gimmer has been talking to me saying, like, I don't know how you're going to run this event. I don't know how you're going to run this event. And I put up everything's online now. Pools and brackets for doubles and PM are live. When I put up the PM and doubles brackets at the same time, Gimmer saw that and he freaked out. He was like, wait, you're doing PM too? What the heck are you doing? You know, it was so funny.
Yeah. So, dude, I think it's a huge accomplishment because, first of all, the Melee games, that's a pretty awesome thing to do, and the whole premise.
What the Melee games were, just in case you missed
Yeah,
the previous
sure.
about it.
Matt, do that.
Wait, sorry, I didn't quite understand what Park said.
Can you remind me?
Explain what the Melee games are, sir.
Okay, so the Melee games, we took signups for about 2 weeks from colleges. In order to qualify and participate in the Melee games, you had to have 5 players from your school sign up. So by doing that, you more or less created a crew for your school. So we created we had 10 schools that signed up in the eligible period, and so we created a 10-school bracket. It advanced weekly. Maybe 2 matches a week at first, and then eventually just 1 match a week. And it's a crew battles that the schools participate in. So, it's not like they're going in a bracket against each other, like in a 1v1 setting. They're doing actual, 10-on-10 or, 6-on-6 or something like that. And the winning school, moves to the next round as a regular single elimination bracket. And that moves all the way up to NSA 2.
Impressive stuff.
Yeah, so you guys actually will be able to see all of that, all of NSA 2 on VG Bootcamp's channel. They'll be coming out and streaming the event for us.
Who are in the finals of the crew battles, the school crew battles?
MIT and UMass Boston.
Oh,
Nice.
go figure it's MIT.
They'd figure out a way. They
They would.
crank the formulas. They
Well,
optimize the
MIT
play.
they're captained by YCZ6, who I believe is actually from California.
yes. Yeah.
Who's on the other crew?
In terms of people that you guys would know, absolutely nobody.
I think that's awesome. That is an awesome thing. Like,
Dude, it's such a great idea. I was thinking a while back. I wanted to make something like that happen on the West Coast, but it was kind of in Melee's dark ages, and I don't think there was a way to make it happen.
right.
But I think in the era that I was thinking about it, Zoo, MacD, and Fly Amanita were all at UC Irvine anyway, so I don't think it would have been much of a competition.
Yeah, I actually had to ban Korean DJ from participating because he's on. He's a student at UMass Boston,
Right.
So as we're taking signups, I was like, oh crap, wait a minute. If you close, then
It would have to be only KDJ with 4 stocks, and it still might be in his favor.
Have you seen those crew battles?
I know, I've seen them, and I think it would still be in his favor.
Yeah.
that I can actually do something, sort of a Korean DJ versus Boston, where I
that'd be
have
sick.
best players from each of the schools that signed up from Boston, send their best player, and they'll play him in a crew battle. Like, there's 7 schools from Boston, so it'd be like a 28-on-4 crew battle.
And I'm sure it's
that depends
awesome.
on the to it.
Like, it's an awesome feeling to represent your own school and also like have the prestige of a KDJ in the area. Also, like that. I think the whole premise of the Melee games is pretty awesome, and it's well deserved that you have 200 plus entrants at this this culmination of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty darn happy about it. I was a little nervous once we closed signups when I found out because I didn't personally handle the registration. That was a friend of mine, Theo,
Right.
or Roy Master is his tag. He actually he was the first person who I started playing competitively with back in 2005. He was sort of my trainer, I guess you could say, and so he took care of all the registration stuff and the numbers and everything. So I didn't actually know how many people we had signed up until, let's see, the Tuesday. We closed signups on Sunday, this most recent Sunday. So the Tuesday before it is when I found out the number of signups, and it was 158. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's more than we were expecting. All right, cool.
And then the wave of last-minute smashers came.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And at that time, we decided, okay, we're going to cap PM because that'll kill us. If we have way more people in PM, we're going to cap that. So we capped it at 64. And, we only had 10 spots left at the time. So it was sort of a last-minute decision that, unfortunately, some people who wanted to play PM didn't get to do it. But anyway, and then, so I didn't find out the final numbers that we had until closer to Saturday evening and Sunday morning, where Roy Master is updating me. He's telling me yeah, so we're definitely breaking 200. I'm like, oh my god. But this whole week we've been planning it. I've had discussions with Plank, with Solid Jake, and with you, Robin, about how we're going to run the event, and I'm very confident that we're going to actually be able to finish it probably before, I would say definitely before 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We should be able to finish the event. And
of course, the entire team wishes you the best of luck with it. Again, you can, it's this Saturday, it's a one-day event, and it's going to be on twitch.tv/VG Bootcamp. And of course, Matt.Zeb, you have a Twitter account they can ask you about more information with?
Right, and that is at Matt.Zeb on Twitter. Pretty straightforward on that.
All right. Well, Matt, of course, always good to have you on the show. Can't wait to see what comes of it.
Sure, and just briefly, could I say I saw him in the chat, and I want to say a big thanks to Solid Jake, not only for all the work he's put in recently for MLG and all, but he was actually sort of the person who really pushed me to start the Melee games. I had a conversation with him, and he kind of gave me a couple ground ideas that I could build off of. So, a really, really big thanks to Solid Jake. And, if anybody in the chat is in the New England region, please join us at facebook.com/groups/New England Melee. We have about 890 members right now.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Matt.
Thanks,
Matt,
man.
you're doing God's work out there.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to keep an East Coast ribbon long going. This time we're going south. We're going to Florida. We're going to not the people's champ, but the man that probably can bench press me with one hand. The one and only. You've seen him in Dive Kick, wearing his CEO T-shirt, crowdfunded to add money to the pot.
And I believe
CEO this summer.
I believe he's also a Mail It On Me admin.
Yes, indeed.
He's the admin that makes you go, wait a minute, why is he an admin?
What?
Because I keep the peace, guys. I keep the peace.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Sorry, I just had 100 things thrown at me at once for CEO, so my mind's going to be distracted. But how's everyone doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm good, man. It's been a crazy day. I'm sure if you follow the gaming world, you've heard the news about the company I work for.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. So,
are you going to learn stick now? I mean, you're
sorry?
Dive Kick. You're the president.
Yeah, no, Microsoft will probably fire us if they try to put Jafali in there. So that's definitely not going to happen.
We'll work on it next year.
Yeah.
But instead of next year, let's talk about this weekend. So this Saturday, you're running MLG qualifier and CEO prologue, right? All right, so we are live. So, Tom Jabin, how's it going? You guys even missed one time. So you're talking about CEO prologue, of course, this weekend, and MLG qualifiers. Go into the bit.
I'm lost now, man. Did the show start again? Jesus Christ.
Okay, there we
are. All right, I see it. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so as I was saying, yeah, I've been doing locals and stuff for a while, but MLG, I've always had a soft spot for MLG. I've enjoyed their events. They've made mistakes the way they hosted fighting games, but times are different now. You know, we need as much exposure as we can get. So I've always been talking to them, and then when they told me about the qualifier thing, I was like, I would love to, it's cross-promotion. It helps my event grow. Beyond the fighting game community, it also helps them show that they are a business, but they genuinely do have good people that care about the tournaments, like Jake that's there, who's a great guy, and stuff like that. So I have a local Smash community now. Alex Chercosta, aka Cherry, who came up to me before my last local and was like, "Hey, if you want to start hosting Smash again, I got you, dog. I can help you out." I'm like, "All right." I always like to give people opportunities, and when somebody tells me, "Let me help you out. Let me do all this for you. Take the stress off your back." So we did the last monthly. It was the first time I hosted Smash in 3 years, and we had 97 entrants. Mm-hmm. And I remember because I have a problem where besides trust issues, which actually I'm pretty much over now, but I still like to make sure everything's running smoothly no matter what game it is. If it's a game I don't even play, I still check on the tournament, make sure it runs smooth. And I remember it was like 1 o'clock. I'm like, here's all the people that signed up. They're like, "We got this, dog. Don't stress it." They come back to me at 5 o'clock. "Here's top 8. I'm like, "Thank you." So it was very well put together, and I'm excited and they had like 15 staff members run it all. So it's going to be really big. This weekend, I wasn't going to do another event, but it was so successful. As the joke goes, Smash pays the bills. And, it was just great seeing them. It really invigorated me to keep doing the locals because I was starting to get burnt out. The turnouts were always great for the other games, but when they came out in full force and seeing this young group of kids, they're in college, running an event, I felt like I could become their mentor and help them do bigger and better events. So it kind of made me love organizing all over again, besides the big CEO. And so I'm like, all right, let's do one more. I asked, obviously, I'm like, "Do you guys want another one?" They said yes. So we did it, and then it just fell in line with MLG's qualifier stuff. And I said it's a no-brainer to be a part of that. It's beneficial because now they're going to take care of the people that, all the qualifiers and do their seeding points. And then whoever wins MLG Anaheim gets a free trip to CEO. You can't really beat that.
Nice.
So it's an exciting summer for all of Smash and all that. And obviously we'll always be forever grateful for the breast cancer drive that Evo started. Without Evo, honestly, I don't think Smash would be getting this huge resurgence. But now it's obviously an opportunity for every event to grow as well with the Smash community, with the support. So it's awesome. It's been working out. The gaming nights at UCF, they made me fall in love with the Smash community again. So I'm really happy to work with them.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we definitely appreciate your presence and what you've done for the community, especially in the South. There are a lot of TOs from the traditional fighting game community that we see that invite Smash, but I feel like you've definitely drawn the line in terms of how to interact and wanting to be part of it. I mean, I've seen you enter at EVO. I saw you enter at that event in Michigan. I can't remember which one it was.
Umicon.
Yes.
Where I took one life off of M2K. Yeah.
That's more than like 80% of the chat. So.
Damn, that's better than my Fox did.
Yeah.
Well, we actually showed your Fox right now.
Don't do it.
We won't do that. I'm not scoring up for that. But again, thank you so much. And again, this weekend it's going to be cast by who again and where?
So Chibo from Clash Tournaments is coming down. So I'm excited. Actually, we finally talked today. He's like, "Yeah, my flight got booked yesterday." I'm like, "I guess that's how MLG works." But we're going to take good care of him, give him the space he needs to do Clash Tournaments, which will be on the MLG.TV. So he'll be doing both Melee and Project M on there, while my guy JT Deuce does all my CEO gaming streams. That'll be on Twitch. I know that sounds weird, but twitch.tv/CEO Gaming, where we'll have Street Fighter and everything else on there as well. So, but I'm pretty good at mending communities together, so I'm excited.
Awesome stuff. And again, a huge amount of thanks to you. Best of luck with You need some sleep, man. You got to start working Killer Instinct pretty soon, right?
No, I'm okay. I can keep talking. Let's shoot the shit, guys.
Hey, we keep it PG here.
I said shoot the jiggly poof. Yeah.
Put on a couple of pounds. Thank you, Bailey. We're going to find out again. Just one more time. When are both your events again?
Okay, so Prologue is this weekend. Obviously, if you can't come, that's fine. It's a local, it's for everyone that lives here. But the big one's June 27th to 29th down in Orlando, Florida. As I was saying earlier before we got cut off, unfortunately, I already have like 3 players from Canada, and I remember I texted you, Winston. I'm like, do you know these names? And he didn't even recognize them. So to me, that's a really big success. When people from out of the state or the country come to your event and they're not well-known players, that's really exciting for me because the top players are going to travel to as many events as they can. But when you have relatively unknowns go out of their way to travel to an event, that means they really like the community or they want to support an event and make the effort to travel to something big. So when I see a name I don't recognize, that makes me happier than seeing like a super top player coming out to the event because it's given they're going to come, but just to see CEO's reach becoming bigger. And obviously I try to do a big show about it. We're going to have a big announcement about the prize that'll be won for both Smash and Project M at CEO this weekend, exclusively on IGN.com. And so, I'm excited, man. Everyone knows I'm a gamer, like you said. I entered EVO because I genuinely like to play the game. It was funny that they put me up on stream first against a girl from Mexico. But I was like, this is EVO, man. I'm showing no mercy. So,
oh, God.
I fortunately won, thank God. And then somebody bodied me, and he even switched characters, which I still don't agree with that rule where the winner can switch characters in Smash, but it is what it is. You guys have your rules. Let me ask you guys a question. Brawl, what's with this? They want to switch to one stock Brawl. Does it really take that long to kill one person?
It's very matchup dependent, but sometimes yes. It goes to 8 minutes with a 3 stock.
10.
A non-negligible amount of time.
But, if you want to know more, you can always tune in to the State of Brawl on Even Magic Gaming's on Wednesday nights, I believe. But Jabali, thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
real quick, sorry, and then I'll shut up. 2 things. So for Smash, I need you guys to hit me up on Twitter. If you could choose 16 of your favorite players that you think might attend CEO, let me know because I want to get a really awesome free-for-all going. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's what I need. That's for a part of Fighter Mania. There'll be more details on that soon. So, once the details come out, you'll see all the players jumping at the chance. And then,
is this going to be in the cage?
Don't worry about it. Anyways, so
I want to see 4 Ganons on Hyrule. That's what I want to see.
It's gonna be hilarious. I've told Winston about it. I'm excited, man. I like entertaining stuff.
4 Falcons in the city. Let's go.
And then if you guys want to support the community sponsorship drive to add bonus money, if you just go to teespring.com/CEO, you can buy a shirt. $5 goes into the game of your choice, and I think it's great. So far, it's doing pretty well. So we're gonna have a couple $100 for every game added to the bonus pot. So that's it for me, guys. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
So that's your prologue this Saturday, March 29th. Then we go 2 weeks, and we're going up a bit north. We're heading to the Mason-Dixon line for Civil War 6, and of course we've got Robin Palm here. Now, Robin, we actually yesterday, today. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. I just finished up my midterms for this week. I'm in graduate school, so it's all late night classes and stuff like that. But I'm glad that this midterm just got over, and now I can focus on Civil War, which is in about a little bit over 2 weeks from now, and I can't be more excited.
I remember actually watching Civil War 4. I thought that it was fun, but I guess I have been in my apartment 2 years now. But yeah, I remember watching the stream, and just the amount of action every game I saw was out of this world. So, to those who aren't the initiate, give us a bit of background on your event, where it is, and talk about this iteration.
Well, I've actually been TOing for a very, very long time, probably, I guess over 10 years now. Started basically running FGC tournaments in an arcade, bounced around a little bit. I ran my first Smash tournament in 2005 at VCU, which is coincidentally where I'm holding the tournament this year. And somebody unknown to me by the name of Daniel Rodriguez won. And everybody was like,
I recognize that name.
they're like, and he was just some kid in a hoodie and like he crushed everybody. And I was like, wow, you are super awesome good. And I really hadn't like played Smash that much to that point. And I was like, well, let me give it a try. And I've played Smash and I really enjoy it. I did with my friends beforehand, but I try to get a little bit better at it. Unfortunately, my hands cramp terribly with the GameCube controller. I can't physically do really complicated stuff on a GameCube controller, but I love the game.
Play Puff.
I play Peach.
No, you play Peach.
Yeah,
there you go.
Shots fired at Sheridan.
Dude, you don't even know, dude.
I just mashed C-Stick. But I ran the C3 tournaments for a long time, and you guys were talking about Ozin earlier, and he won a lot of those back in the day. And I ran them before they got handed off to G-Reg and whatnot. And I actually I started Civil War 1 in 2009. And that tournament actually had Smash and Brawl, by the way. Unfortunately, it was on the same day as a 70-person tournament at C3 hosted by G-Reg, so it wasn't that big. But that Civil War 1 was, it was like a 50-man tournament. And in the past 6 years, I've grown it, methodically and begging and pleading and being the small fish in a very, very big pond. And this year we got pop bonuses, we got all the biggest streams. Last year we had 400 people at the event and over 20,000 people watching the stream. We got
pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really great, and I think that's something I had actually admire about the Smash community is that the Smash community is as grassroots as I am. Because like I kind of I've been doing this like, growing slowly and slowly and slowly until now, I really got something happening. So for this year, Smash was at Civil War 4, and that was the first one that I awarded the swords to, and Dr. PP won. He came up from North Carolina, and I don't think he was like, he was really good back then too, but he wasn't like, winning everything.
He was still on his come up.
Yeah, he was still skyrocketing to the top. And then last year, Civil War 5, we did not have Smash due to space concerns. We were still in the same venue, but had to make room for both Injustice and Tekken Tag Tournament 2. But this year, we've moved to a new venue, which is really high tech and top of the line. It's at Virginia Commonwealth University. And it's really awesome, and everybody should check it out. And I've also decided to put my money where my mouth is, and I plunked down $500 to the winner of Smash Melee. And that is the equal amount to the winner of Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. And those are our top 3 registered games right now. So it's going to be really big. There's a couple other things that I would like to, tell everybody about. 2 is the fact that by participating in the FGC tournaments and all that sort of stuff, we submit all of our results to EVO. And that they take that in account and they basically give EVO seeding points. And the bigger the tournament, the more points, more consideration, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of like, a bonus to the people that do really well at my tournament. They won't get into a pool of death at EVO, which is very hype tournament. You guys, if you didn't go last year, you should definitely go this year. And last but not least, the trophies for Civil War, in keeping with the Civil War theme, is a nice trophy sword that's engraved, with the tournament that you won. Don't worry, it's not sharp. It won't really cut you or anything. But I get one of these for the champions of all the games, and people are really stoked about it. I hope Dr. PP still has his.
He probably does. I don't foresee him as the kind to give something like that away.
Yeah.
But again, Civil War, like you guys heard, Evo qualifier, $500 in the top bonus, which is equal to AE, equal to Ultimate Marvels. Definitely show support. I wanted to make it, but I'm unfortunately doing a panel at a conference that same weekend.
Yeah. So, also, VG Bootcamp will be streaming my event too. I heard the guy talking about earlier running a 225-person event in one day, and man, that's tough. So I wish him the best of luck. That's really huge. We do not have 225 people yet, but, we got enough room for y'all.
Cool.
All right, well, awesome. Thanks for coming on the show, and of course, we hope to hear from you again soon.
No problem. Make sure to tune into the stream in 2 weeks. It's going to be on VG Bootcamp. You guys know the address. The entire Smash tournament will be on VG Bootcamp because he gets just as many viewers as Spooky does when he does Smash. So I'm really stoked for it.
He does these days. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So just we're doing Project M and Melee. So. I think teams will pop up as a side tournament, but it's not officially scheduled right now. But thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and calling in.
All right, have a good one.
Peace.
All right. And we're going to actually do a quick time jump. Although we have NorCal Regionals the week after, we're going to come back to it because we got another special guest. It's Zach Castleman out at UGC. Zach, how's it going tonight?
I think he just peaced.
Well, while we figure out how to share it and talk to some NorCal Regionals.
Absolutely. I would love to talk to you about NorCal Regionals. So, yes, April 19th and 20th in Sacramento. And if you remember last year, NCR was kind of one of the few of the standard Evo circuit tournaments to offer Melee there, and I went up and ran it that year. And on a very short notice, something like 2 or 3 weeks, we got 84 entrants, something to that effect. And
that was a great tournament.
I'm hoping to break 100 at least this time. And unfortunately,
going where SCR couldn't. Shots fired.
Right. So SCR unfortunately had to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think that dissuaded a lot of people from signing up. But NCR will be Saturday, Sunday only. And, last year's NCR was a great time. The only complaint about last year was that we were kind of in a separate room from the rest of the FGC. And this year we'll all be in the same room together. So just like SCR, it's going to be a great atmosphere. And it's going to be a great tournament because NorCal's running it.
Stage.
Yes, and we're going to get the real main stage for our top 8 on Sunday. Of course, it's going to be, bracket pools, just as per Evo rules. Sure. And doubles will be a side tournament, just like it was at SCR and at NCR last year. If you go onto the NorCal Regionals website right now, there's a link where you can get a hotel room at a discounted price, something like $75 for the night. You can also ask one of the nice local Sacramento players to house you. There's actually quite a few players in Sacramento, and they always are looking to play with new people because it's a bit of a drive from Sac down to NorCal to the rest of NorCal. So I'm sure plenty of Sacramento people would love to step up and has anybody who's traveling from out of region, and it's going to be a great time. So I hope to see all you guys there.
All right. And last but not least, so we are a bit further away from his event, but it's just announced MLG qualifier in the Midwest. How's it going, Zach?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well. UGC was just added to the MLG qualifying list, yesterday, day before?
Yeah, I think it was maybe the day before yesterday or the day before that even. We got the notice that we were going to be a qualifying event.
Okay. I guess tell us a bit about the event, where it's going to be, number of entrants, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll say right now, we're actually still have tons of spots open. I'll say we have the cap set right now at 64 players per game. That cap is looking at possibly going up. I'm actually not too sure on the number of entrants right now, but I know we still have plenty of passes left to sell. This event got kind of planned a little bit, a little bit quicker than we would have liked it to, but the passes are there and available, and UGC is trying to put on a really good show and a really good tournament for the community. Whenever I came in to work with the company, they actually, asked me, because I'm pretty much the guy that's out there trying to handle all the fighting game community stuff, and they kind of asked me, what should be our first event, and I'm come from Street Fighter and Marvel and that whole background, and just recently have started kind of getting into Smash and realizing how amazing of a community it is. So I said, I think the Smash community's hungry. I think it would be the place to be, the community to throw it for. So I'll say right now we're just trying to get the word out as much as we can to get people in the event, because MLG they showed us a lot of love and made us a qualifying event.
So the thing I noticed is this is in kind of a strange location.
Yeah.
So like what I guess what players are confirmed? Why should people go to this remote Southern Illinois place? Tell us a little bit more about I guess what some of the differentiating factors are at this point.
Pretty much for right now, it's just right now UGC they really care. They really truly care about the Smash community, and this is our first foray into the fighting game community with this event, and we're trying to give as much as we can to the community, and we're trying to bring players in, and it's just we've like I said, this event kind of got planned a little last minute, but we're doing our best to actually make it as big and as good as we can for the community. I mean, it's a really nice production, and all of our live streams that we do during the week, I'll say we have a nice studio where it's going to be hosted, and it is a remote town. I won't lie to you. I'll say DeCoin's a little bit out of the way and definitely a little remote town, but I can assure you'll be more than surprised to see what's there and what's building there as far as the UGC studios and what's going on. I know I was when I came in. That's I guess the main factor is that it's going to be it's going to be an excellent event, and we'll guarantee that.
Oh, no, I've definitely seen some shots of the studio from Fighter's Edge, which you do on MLG's website, if I recall.
Yeah, Fighter's Edge is the weekly show I do.
Okay. Well, I mean, that one's a bit further along. I think we're actually going to probably have an MLG wrap-up show in the near future, talking about all the events for King and whatever events are going to pop down the line for it. We'll definitely love perhaps to have you back on again then.
Sure, no problem. Sounds good.
Well,
all right.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, sir.
And we are down to our last guest evening. Someone you guys probably know fairly well if you've been watching the stream or Smash documentary, or even in tandem relationship with MLG. Saul, Jake, how's it going tonight? It's good to hear,
What's up,
Jake.
guys?
How are
I see. I hear him now.
Yo,
Good evening, Jake.
Greetings, Jake.
how are you?
How's it going?
I'm recovering from my computer crapping itself the last couple of days, and it seems stable, so that's good. My hair does not seem stable. That's not good.
It can't be worse than our producer's computer at this point. Heyo.
I don't know. We'll see.
Bang. All right, so Jake, I guess you're the closing act for the evening. We've been talking a lot about all the events that are coming up, and we've had a couple of MLG qualifiers on the show tonight.
Yep.
And, a lot of people have questions about MLG. I mean, the big question in everyone's mind is, if I can only afford one, there's MLG and there's EVO. For those of us that went to EVO last year, it was one hell of an experience. Singles with a side event run by the community for doubles. Setups were everywhere. Middle of Vegas. And I guess, everyone's wondering, we've heard things like, pot bonuses and things of that nature, but, for the common spectator, for the everyday man or woman, what does MLG bring to the table?
It's a hard call to make because, I've been to a lot of MLGs, and I've never been to an EVO, so it's hard for me to say, which is better for you or the average person. But so I can say the MLG atmosphere is unique in a lot of ways. It's a massive convention center, so that's very different. It's a very the room. It's just pretty much
Wait,
pitch black with what's up?
Can I ask you a quick question, though?
Yeah.
Isn't it across the street from Disneyland?
It literally, yeah, I'll get there, but you can
is
walk.
this the same venue as MLG Anaheim 2006?
Yeah, it's the same venue for many years, yep.
That was a fantastic time.
The venue is sick. There's an
It's
IHOP
across the street from
and
Anaheim.
Disneyland. IHOP is more important, but
Wait, what? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you should go to MLG because you can go to IHOP, get pancakes, and then make sure it's the world. I'm
And you
bringing it
actually-
up for you guys next week.
MLG presented by IHOP.
I wish. But yeah, no, Disneyland is literally like a 15-minute walk. Because the gate you have to go around, but it is literally across the street. But it's it's great. But so I mean, the MLG atmosphere is unique in its own. I mean, so is Evo, and I would say they have different vibes. But in MLG, one of the cooler things is Evo has one stage. Am I correct in saying that?
One main stage, then they usually have a secondary stage that's also pretty big.
Right. So, but for the finals, it's pretty much the one big stage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of MLG is when all the games are going on. So each game has their own stage, and you have the different crowds pretty much trying to, overthrow the other crowds by being more loud. And I feel like if we have Melee at Anaheim as big as it should be, we're just going to put Call of Duty and StarCraft 2 and everyone
It
to shame.
depends on whether a few key people are in attendance. G-Money, Hockey, and the Lake. Those three.
That's fair. But
go on.
I mean, it's just a really, really cool atmosphere. It's kind of like like grassroots meets kind of like E3, like an exhibition. It's like that midway point because E3 is very professional and very just about sponsor displays and stuff. But MLG is so hype and so loud and so rowdy and stuff. It's very unique because I mean I've been to BlizzCon, I've been to PAX, I've been to tons of anime conventions, you name it. I've been to a lot of these big scale events, but MLG is different than everything else. But I don't know. We're gonna do crew battles of some sort. And I kind of want to know what people want. Do people want? I've talked about this on the esports report. Do people want old versus new? Do people want regional crews? And when I say regional, we would narrow it down to 4 guys from NorCal, SoCal, Midwest, Arizona, Prague actually suggested that. And would people want that? I mean, what do people want? But I think we really want to capture the essence of the community because, Melee and MLG have a long history together. Mm-hmm. And, we're doing everything we can to get PC Chris and Ozin and these names that we don't see at tournaments, but everybody wants to see them play. We're doing whatever we can to reach out to them and get them to the event. Because we want to capture not only the present community, which is so fantastic, but the history of the community as much as possible.
I know my answer to the crew battle thing. I think old school versus new school would be awesome, but I think people who are kind of both, like Mango and Mewtwo King, should go old school for old school's sake. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic.
But old school is just gonna dominate. Who are you gonna even put on the new school at that point?
No, they won't. PP, Hungry Box,
Armada, and then
you only need 4 more
Hacks.
people.
I don't know. There's a lot of good people, man. That's true. But when you consider by old school and new school, I mean I guess kind of the top players from old school, the top players in the modern age. Yeah.
Yes. So. Yeah. I think it'll be fun. Whatever you throw, I think it'll be a fantastic showcase of Melee.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, we just want to bring the hype. That's our main goal for this. We just want to make a memorable event. I mean, the $15,000 prize pool is great. I mean, having a in theory 1,000-man tournament would be great. That's just kind of that's what we said we discussed internally. A lot of people are why the hell are you running a 1,000-man tournament? And it's we discussed internally. It's we don't know what to expect. And it's this is the maximum that we have to cut it off at.
So speaking of that,
1,000 would be extremely high.
Speaking of that, I think a lot of people have just kind of been confused over, what format are you running? Is there there's this open bracket, there's a championship bracket. Can you talk a little bit more? Give a 1 or 2 minute version of what the format is for the viewers.
MLG is notorious for having weird formats. Like the StarCraft guys, they probably changed the way we ran our StarCraft tournaments like 5 times, and like they just had to keep relearning our rules. So basically, if you go to the qualifiers and you qualify for an event, there's 2 ways to qualify. 12 people will qualify before Anaheim, and they will automatically go into pool play. You can qualify by either winning an event, and so Shuffle 5 was the first one. So Mewtwo King is already qualified, and he's guaranteed to be in the pool play. And like I said, pools will be 16 people, but 12 will be determined from qualifiers. So you either win an event, and we're going to have a total of, I think it's 8 or 9. I think it's 9 events total, because we just added the new one. Yeah, so it's 9 events total. And they go all over the U.S. There's one in Europe, and there's one in Canada, and there's one in Japan. And if you don't win, you qualify by seeding. So the more events you attend, the higher you place, the more seeds you get. I mean, if you look at the official announcement or the Smashboards post, or even I think the Facebook post, it explains exactly how the points work. But anyways, so the pool play is those 12, and then the top 4 from open bracket advance into pools, and then the top 4 from the lower bracket, the losers bracket, they advance straight into the championship bracket. So if you're still with me, all that happens with pools is no matter what, if you're in pools, you go to championship bracket, no matter what. But basically, depending on how well you do, it determines where you place.
I see. So it's a reseeding mechanism.
Right. But
I like that a lot, actually.
Not even just reseeding. If you win all your games in pools, you're going to start in like round 3 or round 4 in winners.
Ooh.
The pro bracket is actually 2 brackets. So rather than being upper and lower, it's actually like left and right. And what the purpose of this is to make it so that no matter what, no person can face each other twice in the pro bracket, so that there can't be a bracket reset in the end. And then in the end, it's a best of 11 for the grand finals. And that's why there's first place and then there's 2 third places and not a 4th place. So I know it's confusing.
I followed you.
But
how big is the championship bracket, good sir?
The 20-man. It's a 20-man bracket. So it's 12 qualified from qualifiers, 4 from open winners, and then 4 from losers.
Okay.
So out of a 1,024-man bracket, 8 advance.
Wow.
But
I love it.
What is the format of the open bracket? That's just a big double elimination bracket?
yeah, it's just a huge elimination bracket. I mean, that sounds like crazy, but if there's one thing I can say about MLG is our events run very fast. We have a lot of referees. It's incredibly organized. We have our own bracket software that we wrote, and our events run very smooth. But it should be cool, and I can't wait to see how many people come because we're hoping it to be pretty hype. We've reached out to to Ariane, for SoCal, trying to get a lot of CRT set up. We're trying to figure out how many.
I've heard about that. That sounds super exciting.
Yeah, we're trying to get that rolling and see. We want to get at least 40 setups, the bare minimum. But the more setups we get, the more free play we can have because, we want people to have a lot of friendlies. We want money matches. We want that, opportunity there for everyone.
Okay. Well, I mean, of course, more news. I guess, as you hear from players that might be returning, a lot of smell here in the show before anyone else.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So, of course, there's a lot of time between now and MLG.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, you have a lot of work to do with it. You're trying to get all these old players back. So I guess, when you find out if any of them are coming back, you'll let us here on the show know first, live, on Melee and Only?
Sure, that sounds great, man. I'd love to.
Awesome stuff. And also, there are both brackets for singles and doubles, correct?
Doubles is actually handled kind of unofficially. It's going to be on-site registration only, and it's just going to be like 100% of the prize pool goes into doubles. Like whatever people pay in, that's the prize pool. Largely because it's hard to organize both online and like
with teammates and stuff.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
really tough for us to do. So that's kind of why we're going to do it on site.
Okay, makes sense. All right, Jake. Well, again, thank you for everything, and
Yep,
we will
thanks
see
for having
you soon on the episode. Fingers crossed.
Thanks for calling in.
That's good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.
Have a good
Have
evening.
night. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I guess that is our show for the evening. You heard all these events are coming up in the next couple of weeks and months. We did a bit of a backtracking as well. Remember, register for EVO MLG soon before prices and go up. Let's go around for the night. We'll start with Toph with traffic and weather. Any final thoughts?
Well, I'm looking forward to both of the huge events in the summer. One thing I did speak with Jake. I was kind of hoping that he would speak more to this, but essentially, it sounds like there's a lot of people in these other esports communities that follow and know about Melee and follow the competitive scene. And he was saying, he had this inclination that, if Melee's there and if we show up in full force, we really do have a good chance to steal the show, on a figurative level from, and really garner some incredible hype. Because a lot of these guys, that play, apparently a lot of the good Dota play. He says I believe he went out to dinner with some Dota 2 players, and he was saying that they were talking about Melee and they were talking about Dr. PP and Mango and so forth. And between that and obviously all the hype with Evo, I'm really trying to prepare for the summer as much as I can, both as a player and as a commentator. Just doing whatever I can. So I hope everyone's on board with that drive, I guess, because I think there's some really big things coming up for the community, not just in the summer, but also beyond. That's kind of that's what I sense.
Yeah, we've been preaching to the Brawl community recently that it's not about the feast, it's about how you last during the famine. Right now we're feasting, but who knows what tomorrow brings. So it's not about, these events are great and all, but you also have to be sure you have a great infrastructure for stability in the long term.
And that was kind of the point of your blog post on the MIOM site, right? And I thought that was really well written, and it really speaks to how valuable these kinds of events are, like the MLGs and EVOs of 2014. Everything you guys have said, totally agree with. Anyone watching out there is on the fence, please totally make that effort to go at least one of these, because if we make an impact, we can carry that momentum way beyond this year. So
yeah,
if you listen to all the guests that came on who talked about why they decided to host their tournaments, I think 3 of them said, I played Smash a little bit, but it's only because of this mad exposure that we've gotten over this past year that they decided to jump into it and start hosting Melee, either coming back to it or just doing it for the first time. And it's just amazing to see other people reach out to us now, whereas before we had to be the ones selling ourselves to everybody else, and now we're getting people in Illinois, people in Virginia, and just holding these great regional tournaments just because they want to check out the scene.
All right.
What's up, Phil?
Is that Eric, Mr. Eric Lee?
And Eric.
And
I'm gonna watch a movie.
Phil?
Play video games.
I couldn't tell it was Phil until he talked. Then I immediately knew.
How was the show? Was it good?
Good, dude.
Nice. Way to go, guys.
You guys are the best. I love
Thanks.
you guys.
You're the best, Sheridan. I love you.
All right. We heard from Sheridan, my co-caster. Of course, we got the sports report and Toph and Chuck and weather. My name is Prague, and we'll see in 2 weeks. I don't have a good outline for this. I can think that far ahead.
Generally, it is 2 weeks, right?
And CEO, right?
All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the beginning of Season 4, maybe. We haven't decided yet, because I think Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Later. Enjoy.